Good morning, Lourdes.
Good morning, Maria. How are you?
I'm doing good today. I'm doing very good.
Excellent. I am as well.
Good.
So, jumping right in, today we're bringing you some transformative ways to change your limiting beliefs into strengths. Oftentimes, we feel held back by negative thoughts and we identify with the thoughts in our heads because they become the beliefs that are the drivers of our behavior. So today we're going to discuss some limiting beliefs and give you some tips to rewrite your story.
Right. We're going to focus on this for a few days. We're going to run a little series for you because obviously we all have different limiting beliefs, right? So we're going to try to cover as many as possible during this coming soon holiday season. And this hopefully will help you to have a better holiday because you start to shift how you see what's happening in your life or what's happened in your life. And, you know, once you change those things, your life changes because, as Lourdes likes to say, if you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change.
and that is a Wayne Dyer quote. Thank you for
Right.
Maria for sharing it. And actually, before we dive in, I just want to invite anyone listening, tuning in today to as you're tuning in, as you're watching us, practice some box breathing, practice some deep breathing. Just focus on your breath as you're paying attention to what we're sharing here today as a way to give yourself a little mini break. Okay. So don't try to multitask. Just sit and listen and be with your breath if possible. Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Great idea. I'm going to do that as well.
Excellent.
Do a little breathing. All right. So the first limiting belief, right? And I think this is one of the very pervasive beliefs. I'm not good enough. And the reason that most of us have it at some point in our lives is our past criticisms or frequent comparisons to others. And really, to overcome this, you have to start, as we've said before, becoming your inner coach. You have to identify your strengths and start a daily practice of affirmations that highlight your value, and set achievable goals and that you don't break, because you want to build trust within yourself. And when you trust yourself, that belief of I'm not good enough begins to dissolve and you lose its power over you. So, practice affirmations that highlight your values, set achievable goals, and celebrate even the smallest accomplishments. And that's why people tell you, do your bed in the morning, because these small accomplishments, they build confidence progressively. And you might see it as a small task, as superficial, but in actuality, it's better than that, because it starts to anchor in you that you do things, that you have the accomplishments, and then one accomplishment builds on another. So over time, these small wins will help you reshape your self-image and reinforce the belief that you are good enough. And we always say, have compassion for yourself. It's okay to feel this way, but remember, you have unique strengths that make you valuable. And just to go a little further on this negative belief that I'm not good enough, we talk about our we talk about our perceptions, because our perceptions are how we see things, right? How we've interpreted what our what we're visualizing, what we're seeing, what we're feeling. So our perceptions and our perspectives are the things that we want to progressively shift. And so your perception is that maybe others do things better than you. And you have this conclusion that you'll never be as good as the other people. And it's because of that comparison. An alternative belief that you can start to use as an affirmation is, I'm good enough as I am. And then you strengthen yourself by building on that. And then your perception that everyone has unique strengths and weaknesses, and that includes yourself. Because what you're doing by having these affirmations, by shifting that perception, you're going to move your emotions from insecurity and jealousy to confidence and self-acceptance, because that's the biggest thing that you want to have. Your self-acceptance will lead to greater compassion and really a lot more success in your life, because you're coming from belief in yourself.
Excellent. And so let's go on to the next slide, which is, I don't deserve success. So this stems from low self-esteem or fear of change. And the way to overcome it is by reframing success as something that you grow into, not something that you have to earn to feel worthy. So break down your bigger goals into smaller, manageable steps and track your progress. Celebrate each milestone to build confidence, and reflect on past achievements and remind yourself of your growth to internalize the belief that you are worthy of success. So something that I see often is that people minimize their success. But here we're asking you to reflect on your past achievements and really savor and acknowledge and sit with the fact that you did do that. And, pat yourself on the back, celebrate yourself like you would someone else.
Right.
And, with regards to compassion, you deserve success because you are willing to grow. And success is about the journey. It's not about perfection. And so with regards to success, the negative belief can often be, I'm not worthy of success. And you might be left with a perception that says, I haven't achieved as much as others. And so therefore, the conclusion is success isn't meant for me. It's not something that is for me. But an alternative belief would be, I am worthy of success on my terms, right? Because that's an important component. It's customizable to what you are willing to do to achieve a level of success, and whether or not you're willing to pay the price, make the sacrifice, right? Of achieving that which you think you want.
Right.
So a perception that's needed is that everyone has a unique path to success. And so instead of being in the emotionality of feeling defeated and inadequate, you can proceed with confidence and pride in that you are following your own unique path, and it doesn't need to look like anyone else's path. And, part of the bottom line here with this is that comparing yourself to others, what others have achieved, really is not beneficial. It's corrosive, right?
Right. No, most definitely. Most definitely. I mean, I think that the further you get away from comparing yourself to other people, the closer you get to being your unique self. So let's go to the next slide. I'm not worthy of love, right? And the reason that we have this negative belief is we have a negative self-image, and we put a lot of weight and emphasis on our past rejections, thinking that our past is a predictor of the future, instead of realizing that what's happened in our past is based on circumstances that were unfolding in the past. And I like to, to remind people that, we're not always at our best. And so when we've had rejection in the past, especially when it's parental rejection, it plants the seed for you to think that you're not lovable. And we have limited information when we're children. When you're being raised by people that are stressed or don't have the ability to emotionally engage with you in healthy ways, it's not because you're not lovable. It's because they haven't been able to express how much they love you in a way that is the love language that speaks to you, right? So I would assert that most parents do love their children, and unfortunately haven't been able to express their love, and instead have expressed more fear-based emotions in a need to instead of focusing on love, they focus maybe on protecting you and providing for you. But again, this is all past. And that's why we need to revisit our past and let go of our past, reframe our past. Because if you realize, oh, they were trying to protect me, they didn't have all of the information. I mean, we live in a world of pure information right now, especially with artificial intelligence and the internet. And they didn't have that advantage, especially if you're older. And they might not have that advantage right now because they're busy and they're working and they're providing. But how to overcome this is to practice self-love by engaging in activities that make you feel good about yourself and surrounding yourself with people who uplift you and affirm your worthiness, and reflect on the qualities that make you a loving, kind person. You can, it's one of my favorite things is to journal and, write down daily affirmations that remind you that love is not earned, but something you inherently deserve. And begin by feeling your own love, practicing mindfulness, practicing meditation so that you feel the love that you have inside that can expand so that you understand that love is within you. And then the compassion. You're inherently worthy of love just for being who you are. Now, again, some of these, this negative perception that you might be too damaged to be loved, or there's something wrong with you to be loved. And it's based on your past. It's based on that pain. And we have to move away from that pain because we are inherently lovable. And, we've concluded from that past that no one could love someone with our history and our baggage and who we are. And the truth is that we all come from, I'll just say, a patchy past where we've had things that have happened to us. No one has a past in their own perception that has been perfect, even though, I would argue that everything that's happened has happened for us, and that with the right perception and perspective that we can say, these are the lessons that I've learned. But an alternative belief that you can have is healing is possible and love is for everyone. And you can grow and love and coexist with your past experiences and move from sadness to hope, from sadness and hopelessness to hope and openness.
And I just want to add in with this, Maria shared that we are all inherently worthy of love just for being who we are. If you're someone who's currently struggling with this negative belief, this assertion that you are not worthy of love, it takes time for that message to sink in. So if you're struggling with this, don't give up. Just keep working with the positive affirmations and letting go of that negative self-belief. And, if you can work with someone on this, that would be hugely beneficial. But just know, because you've heard it many times or multiple times here, if you are breathing, if you are here, You are worthy of love. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for saying that, Lourdes.
And moving on to the next slide, I'm a failure. So the reason that one might have this is because of past mistakes or unmet expectations. So overcoming this requires a reframing of failure as a learning experience rather than a final outcome. Reflect on the past failures and identify the lessons you learned from them. Use these insights to create a plan for future growth and success. Remember that failure is part of the journey of success. It's not the end. So take small actions toward new goals and celebrate your courage in moving forward. It's not over. So you failed, pick yourself back up, try again, and know with a sense of self-compassion that mistakes are part of life and they don't define you, but guide you towards your growth. It's an opportunity for learning and growth. The more you can reframe your failures into opportunities, the more resilient you'll become. And so swap that negative belief, I am a failure, into failure is part of learning. So if you have that belief and have that perception of I didn't achieve my goals, it's not over yet. And it doesn't mean that you're not capable of success. It just means that you haven't succeeded in that yet.
Right.
So keep trying, know that failure is part of learning, and shift the perspective into one that says each setback is a step toward growth and success. And then you can swap out the feelings of disappointment and inadequacy for motivation and hope, because you're not done yet. You're going to go right back at it and you're going to try again, right? You haven't succeeded yet.
Right. I love that. I love that you said that. You're not done yet. You're just not done yet. And for today, our final, which again is, these are really big negative beliefs that a lot of people carry, and that I'm not smart enough is one that is, again, very popular. And, you experience feelings of inferior or underachieving events. And, I think that we all have plenty. And I still remember to this day being in the third grade and raising my hand and saying "island" instead of "island." And I still remember my teacher just laughing and the other students laughing. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I am never raising my hand again. And it's unfortunate that we are such sponges, and we take good messages and we take negative messages. And it's like, okay, well, that was one event, and many other events were much more successful, but that's the one I remember. And it's like, we got to let that stuff go, right? And
100%.
Yeah. And so we have to embrace a growth mindset, because you have to remind yourself that your intelligence can be developing and learning and practice, and it's an ongoing journey that we're learning. And engage in activities that stimulate your mind, such as reading and problem solving, or learning new skills, learning a new language, and set up some learning achievements or learning goals, and track your progress, and you'll see yourself building on and on, going higher and higher in your ability and growing your intelligence. And so whether it is that you want to learn a new language or learn a new skill, start from the beginning. You start not knowing, but give yourself time, and believe me, you'll be either fluent in another language, successful in your business, or successful in relationships. You have to have compassion for yourself. Your intelligence isn't fixed. It grows with each experience, and you're capable of learning and growing. And so we've got to embrace the fact that we, have this negative belief. Don't disown it. You have it. What you're going to do is reframe it. And even though you struggle with complex tasks, you may think that you're not intelligent enough, and it's not that. It's just that you haven't been exposed to this before, and you're going to be learning. I have to understand, if I can't do this, then I'm going to learn how to do this. It's not, I can't do this and I'm stupid or unintelligent or unteachable. No. Oh, I don't know this. I'm going to learn it. And so everyone has unique strengths, and some people pick things up really quickly. Some of us need a little bit more time, but by having this belief with the growth mindset, you'll go from feeling inferior and having this self-doubt to having a great confidence, and you'll have proof because you've tried and done and failed and succeeded. You'll have confidence and you'll feel accepted, not only, most importantly, by yourself. You'll accept you, which is the greatest challenge that a lot of us face, accepting ourselves. And by practice and mindfulness and meditation and affirmations and journaling, you'll arrive at the confidence and happiness.
Right. And remembering, like Maria said, that everyone has unique strengths. Everyone has things that come very easily to them and other things that are very challenging and that they have to really work hard at. They have to exert effort and come back to it and fail and get up and try some more. But, with regards to our capacities not being fixed, we're talking about neuroplasticity, right? And how our brain is changing and growing in these ways. The more that we study statistics, the more we're going to be able to understand and grow in our ability to understand those, whatever we focus on.
Right. And especially for those who've had, a rough going in their childhood. When you have high levels of stress, it makes it very difficult for you to learn new things because you're so stressed. You have, your focus just isn't there. And so that was the past. If you're in a place where you're more relaxed, more calm, where you feel safe, or you have practices that help you, then you're going to see that you're very intelligent, that you're capable of learning things. But you shift from thinking, oh, I'm stuck in this level of intelligence, to that growth mindset of, oh, wait a second, I can learn different things, or I can expand my knowledge.
Absolutely. And with regards to stress, a lot of people are experiencing a lot of stress right now. And, to them, I want to say, address the stress, engage in mindfulness practices, engage in meditation, the various ways to improve your mood and bring in the, positive, good feeling hormones. But I feel like we're close to out of time. So
yes.
I do want to say, if anyone listening needs support, please reach out to us. We are here to help.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Lourdes, I will see you on Thursday, where we will begin a small series of answering questions that we've got regarding loneliness and being alone, especially during the new holiday season. Okay. And thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks. You too.